Welcome back to Cinema Recaps. For today, I'll tell you about an episode from the series Roar 2022 titled The Woman Who Was Kept on a Shelf. Spoiler alert, proceed with caution. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little girl whose mother signed her up for every beauty contest in town. Her mother always said, "If I have to choose between you being smart or beautiful, I'll choose beautiful." Those words were deeply engraved in the little girl's mind. She grew up to become Amelia, a stunning and successful supermodel, but also incredibly lonely. Her career was thriving, but her work was monotonous. The hours were grueling, and she was constantly bothered by annoying photographers. One day, during a fashion show, Amelia met Harry, a handsome millionaire. They began a passionate relationship. Before long, Amelia moved into Harry's enormous mansion. She felt like her life had turned into a fairy tale. The next morning, Amelia woke up to strange noises coming from Harry's office and decided to investigate. She discovered her boyfriend installing a large shelf on the wall. This was unusual because Harry usually hired experts for such tasks, but today he said inspiration had struck him unexpectedly. The shelf wasn't for books or awards, it was a gift for Amelia. She found it very sweet, but didn't think all her shoes would fit on it. At that point, Harry explained that the shelf was specifically for her. He wanted her to sit on it all day, with a perfect view of the pool and his desk. He believed that by doing this, he would become invincible and could start 100 companies because every time he looked at her, he would remember what he had and never forget his goals. Amelia didn't like this idea and reminded Harry that she had to work, but he simply responded that she should quit because she didn't love her job anyway. Harry thought she was too special to live an ordinary life and wanted to make sure she would never have to worry about anything again. He even promised to always worship her when she sat on that shelf. He didn't care what others would think. He insisted that this would make him the happiest man in the world. Finally, Amelia agreed to try, and Harry helped her climb the stairs to sit on the shelf. He even gave her a pillow to make her more comfortable, then took the ladder away. Harry said, "This is a beautiful view of a wonderful life." After that, he went to make breakfast for both of them. Left alone in the room, Amelia tried to shake off her embarrassment and focus on her comfort. A while later, Harry and Amelia got married. At the wedding, Amelia, wearing a pure white dress, sat quietly on the shelf, silently watching everyone chat joyfully. When Harry stood up to give a speech and propose a toast to Amelia, she felt touched by the attention from everyone. That night, after the guests had left, Harry brought the ladder back and spent their honeymoon night right on the shelf with Amelia. In the following days, Amelia tried to find ways to keep herself busy, reading magazines, doing her nails, even exercising. The heavy breathing from her workouts sometimes distracted Harry while he worked, but he didn't complain. He even declared that it was his work that distracted him from her. As he often brought Amelia luxurious gifts, flowers, sparkling jewelry, and delicious chocolates. Harry even wanted to organize overseas holidays just to make her happy. But the initial excitement quickly faded. Living on the shelf became incredibly dull. Even the maid only spoke to Amelia with small talk. This life took away her independence and will to be free. Harry also gradually became indifferent. He only stopped by to blow her a kiss and left, no longer bringing gifts, nor noticing the beautiful dresses Amelia wore just for him. Now, he was annoyed, even by the sounds she made. Her attempts to start conversations were ignored, and even a small melody she hummed was not allowed. Amelia became a lifeless decoration, a true trophy wife. One afternoon, Amelia wore her most glamorous dress, hoping Harry would notice. Instead, he only noticed that the natural light no longer reached the desk and asked his staff to rotate the table. Now, Amelia only saw the back of her husband's neck. She couldn't hold back her tears. 3 years passed, and Amelia was still on the shelf. She heard Harry coming home, but he didn't come to see her. He had become cold and apathetic. Amelia called his name, even shouted, but there was no response. This was the last straw. Amelia decided it was time to step down from the shelf. It was not easy. The distance to the floor was not far, but after all those years of captivity, the world beneath her seemed distorted. Amelia practiced by talking to the shoe, pretending it was Harry. But when she threw the shoe down and watched it fall, the fear inside her grew even more. However, Amelia was determined to leave the shelf. She practiced with the second shoe and accepted that she had to be brave enough to jump down. Bit by bit, she began to move down until she could no longer hold onto the shelf and fell to the floor. From Amelia's perspective, it was a long and terrifying fall, But in reality, she hit the ground quickly and was unharmed, just a little sore. After years of not walking, her atrophied legs made it difficult to move. Amelia leaned on the furniture to stand up, then slowly and clumsily walked outside. The cool breeze on her face delighted her. For the first time in years, Amelia felt life in a new way. She was like a child discovering the world for the first time, spinning around in joy. Amelia touched the pool water, threw a series of tennis balls, then danced around the house. Afterward, she put on her shoes, stepped outside, and climbed onto a postal van to head downtown. When she arrived, her confidence grew, and Amelia began to immerse herself in social life. She hugged a car, greeted strangers, danced on tables, and even asked for a ride on a Vespa. The short but exciting trip took her to the coastal area. Amelia continued dancing with a stranger, tore up a man's parking ticket, joined a yoga group, chased a dog, and finally reached the beach. There, an impromptu dance group joined her. As she ran toward the sea, a cold wave hit, pulling her back to reality. Afterward, Amelia tried to talk to some strangers, but they were uninterested in her joy and refused to lend her a towel. Cold and lonely, Amelia wandered around the town. By chance, she came upon a makeup store and saw women getting their makeup done. Looking in the mirror, she realized her mascara had smudged and her concealer had worn off. Desiring to feel beautiful again, Amelia entered the store and used a tester to clean her face. She felt better immediately, without the worn-out appearance. A staff member named Jordan noticed Amelia's makeup skills and wondered if she was a makeup expert. Amelia quickly explained her job, being a trophy wife for a millionaire. Surprisingly, Jordan didn't judge. She shared that her mother always taught her that the most important thing is to live happily. Amelia responded with her mother's philosophy, beauty over brains. Jordan smiled and told Amelia that she didn't have to choose between the two. She could have both. Those words emoted Amelia, as she had never thought of it that way. Before Amelia left, Jordan tried to convince her to buy something because her job was commission-based, but Amelia had to decline, as she didn't have any M1 with her. A while later, Amelia returned home and stared at the shelf. After a few seconds of hesitation, she grabbed the fire poker and began smashing the shelf to destroy it. At first, each strike was slow and cautious, because destroying something large always makes people scared. But soon, a sense of satisfaction arose, and Amelia struck harder and faster until the shelf was almost reduced to dust. A year later, Amelia opened a makeup store under her own brand. The store was a huge success, always with long lines of customers waiting for their turn. However, even in the store, Amelia repeated the same old pattern. She sat on a shelf with a neon sign above her that brightly displayed the words, "Let everyone admire." Amelia wanted to be a living proof of the combination of beauty and brains, as she was both beautiful and smart enough to run her own business. But when customers came to greet her and compliment her beauty, they never stayed to learn more about who she was. Gradually, Amelia became another cog in the machinery of the beauty industry, a system that inherently diminishes women, turning them into living trophies. Don't forget to follow and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching.